Good evening and welcome to the Essex Academy, home of the BFA Bobwhites and Comets. Today is Anderson, the Essex Hornets, and your BFA Bobwhites. BFA and Essex will now participate in spectators who are required to be able to respectful manner. For specifically, blanket bonding or the top riders for all collective sponsored activities. This is a socially proven respectful person's race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, national origin, and physical disability. Any violation of the game will result in disability, effective enforcement. Let's work together to ensure positive, supportive, and healthy environment and the law. We don't believe doing anything like that. We also ask the spectators, please take everything for until the two teams are finished for both game nations. At this time, we ask you to stand in your able for the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Northwest Access TV's special presentation of Vermont Boys Varsity Basketball. Tonight's matchup features the home team, the Bobwhites of Bellows Free Academy, and the visitors, the Hornets of Essex High School. Two big schools in the Division I circuit. BFA comes in with a record of 5 wins, 7 losses. Essex stumbling out of the gate this year. They are just 2-9. But though it may look a bit one-sided in the score, the record category, BFA, though they started 3-0, have stumbled. They have won just 2 of their last 9 games. And so over the last month or so, these two teams about even. How we'll go this evening is why we're here. BFA, a lot of excitement, a lot of fans here. They've had the day off at both schools with Martin Luther King Day, and it's been a cold day. It's a cold night at -5 as we pulled into the parking lot. But here in the gym, it is heating up as we get set for tonight's matchup. BFA's 5 started this evening. Evan Gothier, a senior. Max Sweeney, wearing number 11. He's just a sophomore, one of 4 sophomores, in the starting 5. Trip Rabtoy, Davian Jones, and Ryan Lockerbie join Sweeney as the other sophomores in the starting 5 for the Bobwhites. For Essex, it's Thomas Zaplicki, the senior forward, joined by Nicholas Mercier, Jonah Paquette, Brady Moore, and Evander Mosley. Taking the opening jump for the Hornets will be the big junior forward, Nicholas Mercier. For BFA, noteworthy that one of the tallest players on their team and one of the best players on their team, Justin Munger, still out with his wrist injury. They are optimistic that he will return to the playing court by the end of the season, but for now, he's clearly making a big impact as a positive teammate in their warm-ups and in the first seat next to the coaches on the bench as well. Taking the jump for the Bobwhites is Ryan Lockerbie. And opening tip is controlled by the Hornets. Here's Jonah Paquette, sophomore point guard. Paquette, after dumping it off, goes to the corner. Back to Paquette up top. He's being guarded by Max Sweeney. Sweeney, cited by Coach Menard as somebody who's going to need that lockdown defense, and sets the tone early with a steal in the first 20 seconds. The Bobwhites coming the other way, and this is Evan Gauthier, number 10. The handoff to Davian Jones, back to Gauthier. Gauthier up top, a dangerous pass, controlled by Chip Rabtoy into the far corner, back to Sweeney. Sweeney curling around, and the curl up top as the shot fake, and now we go back to Gauthier. Step back jumper, no good, bounces around, and loose ball controlled by the Hornets. Here's Thomas Zaplicki coming the other way. Zaplicki had his pass tipped, and it's 2 turnovers in the first minute for the Hornets. Driving in, a lot of contact, and the basket will count as Davian Jones gets the first basket for either team this evening. Foul being called on Evander Mosley. Jones has a chance for the three-point play. Misses on the free throw. Here are the Hornets. Hornets keeping 3 to 4 players over the three-point arc at all times as they lose rebound, tipped around and controlled. And Gauthier controlling the pace, passes over to Sweeney. Sweeney driving inside, jump stop, and among the trees, he decides to go back outside. High arcing three-pointer is good for Trip Rabtoy, and it's a quick 5-0 lead for the Bobwhites, a minute and a half into this one. Good defense, as a lot of poise there from Paquette, and a three-pointer no good for the Hornets. Tipped out by Zaplicki. Zaplicki staying for what looks like a zone press, though it might be full court man defense. Whatever it was, the Bobwhites made short change of it. Quick handoff, no second three-point attempt from Rabtoy. And here's a quick three launched off the glass, no good on that one from Gauthier. Hornets coming the other way, contact, no whistle, and the lay-in no good from Mercier. Another three-point launch, the third long ball attempt for the Bobwhites. This one no good. Essex still seeking their first basket of the contest. Long three-pointer, in and out. Mosley was the shooter, number 33. Another dangerous pass from Sweeney. Gauthier got a mismatch. Kicks out, and another miss. That's 4 three-pointers already for the Bobwhites. And a loose ball knocked out by BFA. BFA defense a little too intense, as a blocking foul going to be called on Max Sweeney. First team foul for the Bobwhites. Neither team having brought anybody from the bench just yet. Paquette able to get through the double team. Pretty savvy play there from a sophomore point guard. Getting that ball up really high and close to a carry there, but it's going to be another foul. That's going to be the second personal back-to-back from Max Sweeney, and we may get our first substitution. Indeed we do. Here's Isaac Brannon, junior guard, coming in. Sweeney in foul trouble in the first quarter. Mosley with the left hand. Good on-ball defense from Jones. Mosley to Paquette. Half of a shot fake to see if he could bait Isaac Brannon, the new man off the bench. Good on-ball defense here from Evan Gauthier. They were able to get it around. Long defensive position a possession rather, and an offensive rebound makes it longer. Essex still seeking their first points as Paquette is going to launch a deep one. No good, but another offensive rebound, and the putback is good for Brady Moore. The senior captain puts the Hornets on the board. Gauthier goes down low to Jones. Jones kick outside, and another three-pointer launch, and another one good for Trip Rabtoy. He's got 2 three-pointers in this game, and the Bobwhites lead by a half dozen. Dangerous full-court pass, and some dragged feet. No whistle. Three-pointer answered by Jonah Paquette. Jones trying to get the step pass, but not going to be able to. Good on-ball defense from Brady Moore. And slowly backing in, the dribble kept alive. Step back as the dribble kept going from Gauthier. Gauthier goes to the low post at Lockerbie on the baseline. One-handed pass. Three-pointer up, off the front iron. Essex having 2 quick baskets, seeing if they can equalize. They will not, as another turnover with Jones getting the steal. Lockerbie passing up ahead, and on the reach, it is going to be a foul on Thomas Zaplicki. And Sam Bent has checked in for the Hornets as well. BFA bringing in a substitute of their own, Gabe Horrigan, a senior. Horrigan off the bench, an impactful player for BFA, highlighted by Coach Menard as one of the players offensively who needs to have a big game for them to be successful. Lockerbie, easy little shot fake there. And great touch! Down low, Ryan Lockerbie's first 2. Love the pace of his game as Paquette, speaking of good pace, despite a double team, able to remain poised. And he has been the recipient of 3 fouls now. This time it's Isaac Brandon, the man off the bench. This is our first time seeing Sam Bent with the ball. He went to the corner to Zaplicki. Zaplicki with a good pick and roll, and it works around up to Brady Moore, whose three-pointer no good. Loose ball. Paquette ends up with it. Paquette looked like he almost lost his feet for a second, but he's got great body control. Bent able to get the roll. Well, it took the Hornets a couple of minutes to get going, but they've scored on 3 of their last 4 possessions. Ball tips. Down low to Lockerbie. Lockerbie with the pass outside to Jones. Jones, three-pointer, in and out. And Bent gets hit from both sides. Let's see who they call the foul on. They're going to call it on 34, Gabe Horrigan. Noah Peck is in the game for Essex. He's number 5, and Aiden Iverson, a junior guard, number 24. Paquette driving in, hangs, and can't get it to fall, but another offensive rebound. Essex has been controlling the offensive boards as the turnaround no good, and Lockerbie able to get a rebound for the Bobwhites. A 3-on-1, and Gabe Horrigan unfazed. His first bucket of the night, off the bench, only for about a minute. Paquette skip pass, and they go up for a three-pointer, and no doubt on that one. Sweet spin from Noah Peck, who gets the Hornets' second long ball of the night. Jones with a quick dump off to Brandon. Back to Brandon in the corner, guarded by Paquette. Wants to get it out of the corner, almost throws it away. Good hands from Horrigan. Horrigan driving in. Able to draw the foul. Looks like it's going to be on William Keegan. Will it be before the shot? It was in the act of shooting. He is shooting 2. Good looking shot from Horrigan's first free throw attempt as it rims out. And Lockerbie getting a breather. Ryan Munger also blessed with some height, has checked into the game in the low post. They say the free throw is good and a loose ball foul on Ryan Munger, who officially has not been in for any time yet and still able to collect a foul. That's efficiency. William Keegan at the line. Back iron. He's at the line because that was the 5th team foul for the Bobwhites. The team limit for shooting is a quarter-by-quarter basis now, as you may or may not be aware. Keegan gets the second one to fall. 13-11 our score with about a minute left in this first quarter. Gauthier able to drag 4 players up in the air. Inside they go to Munger. Munger moves the ball around to try to evade the double team, kicks outside. That ball barely had an arc on it, but it drops in. The 3-pointer from Gauthier, his first points of the game. Bobwhites back up by 5, driving in, a lot of speed and great touch. Sam Bent has had 2 baskets in his short time in this contest. A big spark off the bench for the Hornets. Gauthier kicks outside, shot fake, driving baseline, kick to Munger. Munger with the left hand, it's good. Paquette up ahead, tiptoes to stay in. Paquette thought about shooting. Kicks outside, sets a screen, 3-pointer no good. Munger gets the rebound. 7 seconds. Here's the Bobwhites the other way. It's Brandon, kicks out. Gauthier with 2 seconds. Gauthier, the runner. No good, but he is fouled. We'll see if they put any time on the clock. He may be shooting without anybody around him.
14 fouls for Essex. For the quarter.
Sorry, we're in your announcing booth.
Evan Gauthier, because was fouled at the end of the quarter, will take 2 free throws without anybody around him. Swish in the first. And misses the second. So after 1, it is BFA 19, Essex 13. That's it for the first quarter. Back in just a minute for continued coverage of BFA versus Essex on Northwest Access TV. Welcome back to the second quarter with continuing coverage of Vermont varsity basketball. It's the Hornets and the Bobwhites from St. Albans. And after the first quarter, it was a lot of offense for BFA, 19 first quarter points. And they're going to try to keep that pace going. Essex is going to force them to. And out of the block, the 3-pointer, which was a big story in the first, unsuccessful. That one launched by Gabe Horgan. Here come the Hornets the other way. Bent at the top, being guarded by Horgan, driving in, a lot of contact, and he dragged his feet. Got got the roll, but it was after the turnover. A couple of early turnovers plagued Essex, but they really got their composure. Their sophomore point guard, Jonah Paquette, was a big part of it. He did not go to the bench at all in that first quarter, but starting the second here with a chance to catch his breath a little bit. Another sub, Evander Mosley, Van to his friends, I'm told. Checks back in as Bent returns to the bench. Sam Bent, the leading scorer after the first quarter for the Hornets with 4 points. And here's Gauthier, the point guard for the Bobwhites, directing traffic, getting a high screen from Munger. And an illegal screen from Munger, who has been in for about 2 minutes now and has 2 fouls.
BFA number 44, Ryan Munger, that's his second first team foul for the quarter for BFA.
Ryan Munger, the younger brother. Justin Munger is the one in the sweater and collared shirt there, and notably the wrist brace. Hornets the other way. Good on-ball defense from Horgan. They kicked outside. And corner three launched. Back iron, loose ball, controlled by the Hornets, spun around and tipped as Jones comes up with it. Hard collision there, no whistle except for the out of bounds. Munger goes back to the bench as Lockerbie returns. The two players who were focused by Tristan Menard as the two players defensively needed to have a big game were Davian Jones and Max Sweeney. They both made their presence felt with some steals. The defense not doing much there as Noah Peck gets his second long ball of the game and cuts it to a 3-point deficit. Gauthier gets a three-pointer. Just a little bit of space. Had a good look, but too strong. As the Hornets, long pass, tipped to the corner, driving in and kicked outside again. Almost slipping there was Brady Botello. In the corner, the height difference, not enough as on the second effort, William Keegan knocked that ball out. Like to see him follow his shot. Not able to retain possession. Keegan's going to go to the bench, and so will Aiden Iverson for the Hornets. Full court man defense for the Hornets. Gauthier, the senior point guard. Gauthier's got 4 points. And 5 seconds of good on-ball defense from Brady Botello. That was a senior versus senior guard matchup. You don't get that call often. But Botello's got to feel pretty good about that one. Good defensive effort. Brandon is guarding, and so is the double team. And Botello, after forcing a turnover, gives it right back. The double team got under his skin a little bit. Here's Brandon. Brandon drives into the key. Immediately picks up the dribbles as if he wasn't sure what he wanted to do once he got there. Lockerbie tried to curl it around, but a bit carelessly and pretty nonchalantly stolen by Evander Mosley. Mosley by Horgan. This is Zaplicki. Zaplicki with a big height mismatch, has about 5 inches on Max Sweeney. See if they try to exploit that. Back to Zaplicki they went, but now up top. And here's Mosley driving in, and a bit of a fadeaway, no good, as Lockerbie tips it, can't control it. Behind the back flip, but Essex has it. Interesting sequence there. Here's Zaplicki. And scrappy, Sweeney has kept Zaplicki from using that height advantage. But a great shot from Mosley, his first three-pointer. That is the 4th long ball for the Hornets, and they have tied it up almost halfway through this second quarter. Right after hitting his three-pointer, Mosley is called for the foul. It says second. Munger returns to the game. Lockerbie to go back to the bench. Lockerbie clearly a bit frustrated, having turned the ball over once. Down low to Munger. Munger senses the double team right around. Horgan, the three-pointer, no good, as Munger tips it out, and it will be Essex ball under the BFA hoop. Paquette, who's back in the game, tries to speed past Brandon. Just not able to. Essex looking for their first lead. They've tied it up. Back to Paquette. He's going to launch it. Paquette, back iron. Offensive rebound again. Zaplicki guarded by Munger. Munger gets the rebound there. But Essex has created a lot of double teams as that one launched. And Sweeney overthrows his intended receiver. Speaking of receivers, there's a football game going on right now. Those of you who like college football probably knew that. Air ball, rebounded by Brandon. Brandon over to Sweeney. Sweeney to Horgan. Horgan with a couple dribbles, and the runner is good. He really is a big spark off the bench, and Gabe Horgan now has 5 points. And BFA's back on top. Paquette got past the double team, not fouled, as he dumped it off, and the second effort from Nicholas Mercier forced a jump ball. It seemed to me as if a foul could have been called on Paquette, whose poise has really been impressive to me, this sophomore point guard. Essex might just be 2-9, but with the amount of savvy, successful players like that, I think their future seems pretty good. Sam Bent, also a player who's going to be back next year, has got a half dozen points already in this one. And coming right back the other way, Gabe Horgan scores again for the Bobwhites. Here's Bent. Smart pass to the corner. Three-pointer up and good. Brady Moore connects with the long ball. The vision from Bent to get the assist. Essex has their first lead in this contest. Horgan driving in, another runner, another basket falls for Horgan. Gabe Horgan now has 9 points, and it's been back and forth a bit. Brandon, a 3-on-1. Horgan gets fouled, and he will go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point game. Bent found himself in the wrong end of a 3-on-1. Did not give up an easy basket and called for his first foul. Good touch from Horgan, who now has 10 points. Off the front iron, second one misses, and a really surprising turnover for the Hornets there. Some miscommunication as they tried to do a quick pass to Paquette. Well, BFA's got the lead, but it would be a different game if it weren't for the half dozen or so turnovers Essex has had in the early going here. Fadeaway jumper for Evan Gauthier. That's his first bucket of this quarter. He's got a half dozen points, and he's got his team back up by 4. Paquette, good first step. Able to get the shot to fall, but after the foul, the official asserting that the foul is on the floor. It is the third foul on Max Sweeney. We have not been able to see Sweeney play very much. He picked up 2 fouls in the first couple of minutes. And now here in the second quarter has given the Bobwhites a few more minutes, but that's about it. With 3 fouls, he'll be out until the second half. Zaplicki is able to get his first bucket of the game on the defensive breakdown. Horrigan driving, looked like he was going to try to find Brandon in the corner, knocked out, and it will be Bobwhite ball under their own hoop. Raptoy is going to be the inbounder. Looking for Horrigan, he goes to Jones up top, guarded by Zaplicki. To the corner, spinning around, and big shot fake from Brandon, who got his man in the air. Here's Horrigan for three. Jumps a little bit to the left there, and that's how he wanted to do it. A three-pointer for Horrigan, who has been the offensive standout for both teams in this one. Paquette caught in the corner. Timeout by Coach Jesse Willard of the Hornets, who saves him there. 30-second timeout. We will use the opportunity to thank our community sponsors that make this live sports coverage possible. Splish Splash Clean and Clear, Northwestern Rehab Services, Notch Vermont, My Healthy Vermont, JC Image, Union Bank, Stone's Auto Repair, St. Albans and East Fairfield, and Collins Pearly Sports and Fitness Center. If your business would like to help sponsor this live coverage, you can reach out to Paul Snyder at Northwest Access TV. You can check out their website for more details, northwestaccess.tv. We'd also like to thank Northwestern Counseling and Support Services and the Afterglow Foundation. The two organizations have been working to prevent suicide deaths in our community, and if you are concerned about yourself or a loved one, there are people in our community that can help. You can reach out to NCSS 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on its confidential emergency services line, 802-524-6554. Then you can press 1, or as always, you can call or text 988. One call, one text, or chat could save a life. Back here, under 100 seconds in this first half, as the Hornets trailing by a couple of points. Good dump from Zaplicki, but the finisher Mercier unsuccessful. The Hornets force a turnover. Zaplicki again tries the feed, as that time it was a three-pointer launch from Mosley. And in the chase down for the loose ball, it's a loose ball foul on Essex. Some confusion there. It looked, and Essex thought that it was out on BFA. Coach Willard asserting that the BFA player was trapping him backwards, but it was called a push from Nick Mercier. Quite interesting back and forth there. And BFA takes their first timeout as well, as they recognize that they didn't really have a good play drawn up from that out of bounds possession. We thank all of those who are tuning into this live coverage. We might even have somebody listening in Iowa, potentially. Abby, who is cheering on Sam Bent, who's having a good game for Essex in this first half, already with a half dozen points. Iowa might be a first for Northwest Access. You get a lot of Floridian grandparents, the snowbird variety. Here's the Bobwhites, they're finally able to break that press, as Horrigan was briefly double teamed, and he went up top to Brandon. Brandon with the handoff. Raptoy coming around the screen. Had no option, found Gauthier. Gauthier gave himself some space, Paquette guarding, kicked out to Brandon, the quick three-pointer off the side of the backboard. Jones somehow picks it up with the left hand, gets it to fall. It's a 7-point lead now for the Bobwhites, their largest in the game. Great pass from Paquette, but the reverse lay-in no good for Moore. Moore, the senior captain's got 5 points in this one and had the chance to cut it to a 5-point game. But Essex has extended so many offensive possessions. The great work on the glass, and that defensive breakdown for the Bobwhites as Nick Mercier gets his first bucket. An easy lay-in. Horrigan loses it, and it's now BFA who's turning it over. Coming the other way is Mosley. Mosley with the high arcing pass to the corner. It stumbles its way towards Brandon's hands. He can't control it. And the salvage from Mercier, who gets it off of the heel of Brandon. And as had been said a moment ago, Essex finds a way to extend their offensive possessions. Mercier, who just got his first points, will go to the bench for the rest of the half. Posting up Mosley. Mosley, the quick release. And back-to-back baskets for Essex. Horgan for three. No good. So BFA led by as many as 7, and Essex with back-to-back buckets to end the second quarter makes it a 3-point halftime score, halftime deficit rather. 33-30 is our score. BFA on top. You are listening to Northwest Access. You're listening and watching Northwest Access's coverage of BFA versus Essex. The second half coming your way in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the second half of basketball here at BFA Bobwhites. Hockey score for your comments tonight. BFA Bobwhites 4-0.
Welcome back to second half coverage of BFA St. Albans versus Essex. It's Vermont boys varsity basketball, and we had an exciting first half that culminated with BFA leading by 3. 33-30 was our halftime score. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you might be watching us from. I'm Wesley Kempton, happy to be on hand with you this evening as Essex looks for their third win of the season and BFA tries to turn their season around. It was a big first quarter for BFA. They led by 6 points as Lockerbie gets tripped up by Paquette. No malice, no whistle. And Essex trying to tie it right out of the gate, and they do. Paquette the assist, the corner three from Brady Moore, and it is now 33-all. Moore now with 8 points to lead the way for Essex. At halftime, the two leaders were Noah Peck and Sam Bent with a half dozen apiece. The glass has been controlled by the Hornets in this one, and in the second half, it seems to be the case as well. Gauthier, after getting the steal, finds Horgan. Horgan from the corner, no good. And another rebound for the Hornets, though another turnover for the Hornets as Gauthier almost lost it off his knee. He goes over to Trip Rabtoy. A shout out to Trip Rabtoy's Graham, who is watching from California. That seems to be our longest distance of a listener. No offense to Iowa. Horgan finds himself trapped in the key, floats it back out to Gauthier, and the Bobwhites will reset. Rabtoy to Sweeney. Sweeney, the only player in foul trouble, had his mind and pockets stripped from Paquette. And Paquette gives Essex just their second lead of the game. Paquette seems to be a selective shooter. Hasn't taken too many. There's Rabtoy, an ill-advised bounce pass inside. Almost stolen by Sweeney. Three-pointer, Zaplicki. No good, and Lockerbie with one hand able to bring down that rebound. Timeout from BFA coach Tristan Menard. It's been a fast 2.5 minutes in this third quarter, and BFA has been without a single bucket. Essex, meanwhile, has scored 5 unanswered. Leading the way for BFA in the first half, Gabe Horgan, who came off the bench, the senior forward, had 13 points, 10 of them coming in that second quarter. Evan Gauthier, 6 halftime points. Trip Rabtoy also with a half dozen. Davian Jones had 4, and the two Ryans, Lockerbie and Munger, each with a bucket apiece. As I mentioned prior to the three-pointer from Brady Moore, who now has 8, the halftime leaders for the Hornets were Noah Peck and Sam Bent, each with 6. Van Mosley had 5. 5 points now for Jonah Paquette. Zaplicki and Mercier each with a pair. Gauthier working his way around, has his pockets stripped again, but he gets it back and goes up top to Sweeney. Sweeney hasn't been in long enough to really make any offensive impact. The sophomore guard gets a high screen from Lockerbie. Lockerbie rolls, and Sweeney feeds Rabtoy. Rabtoy's three-pointer no good, and Lockerbie could not get the rebound. Paquette the other way, kicks to the corner. Zaplicki for 3. No good, but he follows his shot. His roll no good, as Horgan, with the lead pass to Gauthier, doesn't have the numbers or the angle. He will slow it down and reset the offense. Big mismatches. He's guarded by Mercier. Big height difference between them. Lockerbie in the corner. Couple of dribbles, spins around, finds Gauthier. Back down to Lockerbie, tries to shove his way around to get a shot off. As he passes to Horgan in the corner, Horgan three-pointer was good, but it was Lockerbie who was fouled in the act of passing. Ryan Munger will replace Lockerbie, and a couple of fresh legs off the bench for Essex. Noah Peck and William Keegan. Keegan also had 1 first half point, it's worth noting. With the left hand, Munger can't get it to fall, can't get the rebound as well, but it's stolen by Sweeney. And Sweeney caught Essex sleeping. There's his first basket of the game. You understand why he was in the starting mix. As a three-pointer, no good, and Rabtoy gets it, fights his way out of a double team and fouled. See who they call it on. Keegan, as Bent checks to come back into the game, joined by Aiden Iverson. Mosley and Moore back to the bench. Gauthier, recognizing that it's just one-on-one, waits for his teammates to clear. High screen from Munger. Gauthier keeps going with his left hand, curling all around. He finds Sweeney. Sweeney thought about shooting, drives in, gets some contact. Paquette tried for the block, but there may have been some contact. Sweeney got a taste of some offense, wants to have a little bit more. He finds his way at the line, shooting 2. Essex with 3 team fouls in this third quarter, none yet for the Bobwhites. High arcing free throw up and in. And Max Sweeney has all of BFA's third quarter offense so far. And good touch on that second as well. And it has BFA back on top. 37-35 our score. That being guarded by Horgan. The handoff to Noah Peck. Peck going to his left. Kicks outside. Keegan thought about it. Drives in. Good defense from Munger. And a good rebound from Rabtoy. Rabtoy must be just the tough matchup. Whoever's on him playing really intense defense. Right now it's Peck. Horgan, three-pointer. No good. Munger tipped it to keep it alive as Sweeney tried to get the low pass to Gauthier, and Munger in the wrong place at the wrong time kicks it out of bounds. Paquette with Sweeney on him. Sweeney's got to be careful. He's got 3 fouls. The feed down low to Bent. Bent didn't quite have the angle for the shot, but Munger didn't realize that. He fouls him. Bent at the line to shoot a pair.
First team foul for BFA 4 this quarter. Heading to line 2.
For the left-hander. Got a bounce, and then it bounced out. As Lockerbie comes back in. Second end for Bent. And that one too strong as well as Rabtoy gets it. Rabtoy with a one-handed runner. And Lockerbie gets the scoop shot to fall. Ryan Lockerbie's got 4 points and BFA leads by 4 points. Essex almost thrown it away as Keegan keeps it alive. Bent up top, guarded by Lockerbie. Driving in with the left hand, gets it to fall. Rabtoy knocked down as Keegan hobbling for the Hornets. That's the 4th team foul for Essex, so no shots yet. And Rabtoy's going to inbound it. Keegan, who was hobbling with the right leg, I don't know if it's the ankle or the knee, he's going to just try to walk it off. We got a trainer taking a look at him already. Lockerbie, double team. Look at that pass to Horgan. Horgan can't get it to fall, and Lockerbie can't get the rebound. It was bent as Paquette walks into a wall. It's stolen away. Horgan slid a little bit. Lockerbie finds Gauthier. Gauthier steps back and uses the glass to his advantage. And it is BFA on top by 4 again. Gauthier has been very judicious with his shot selection. And he's got 8 points. Bent driving in again with that left hand. Gets the roll again. Great touch around the rim for Sam Bent, who now has 10 points off the bench for the Hornets. And a timeout being called as Bent has scored on 2 possessions using that left hand and big body to his advantage. Might as well take this full timeout to once again recognize our community sponsors who make this coverage possible. Splish Splash Clean and Clear, Northwestern Rehab Services, Notch Vermont, My Healthy Vermont, JC Image, Union Bank, Stone's Auto Repair, St. Albans and East Fairfield, and Collins Prairie Sports and Fitness Center. And if you and your business would like to help sponsor our live coverage, you can reach out to Paul Snyder at Northwest Access TV. You can check out their website, northwestaccess.tv. Well, an exciting one here. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. It's a 2-point game. Gauthier with tight on-ball defense. Got 3 players around him as he kicked outside. Lockerbie couldn't get it to fall, but a rare offensive rebound. It was Gabe Horgan. And Gauthier slowing it down a little bit. It's Sebastian Provost off the bench guarding him. Lockerbie spinning around. Kicks up top to Sweeney. Sweeney driving in. Back to Lockerbie, but too many Essex defenders as Paquette was fallen on. No whistle, and he still keeps that possession. Sweeney, lucky that he wasn't called for a foul there. Offensive rebound, a second offensive rebound, and the putbacks unsuccessful with Mercier will go to the line. Well, there were 2 Essex players who had legitimate grievances about a lack of a call there. And for BFA, it should be Sweeney feeling fortunate. Finally, the foul was called on Gabe Horgan, his second and the team's second, and Essex will inbound under their own basket. And an easy play. That's the second time out of an inbound play they've found Nick Mercier for an uncontested layup. This time it ties it. Brandon being guarded by Provost. Rabtoy, excuse me. Brandon again. This is Jones. Jones had the step past Paquette. They go down low to Lockerbie. Lockerbie had it poked away, and Paquette comes up with it again. Essex trying to end the third quarter with a lead. And a 3-pointer off the front iron from Noah Peck. He's hit 2 3-pointers in this one, but couldn't get the next one. Jones tried to get Lockerbie, but again stolen away, and the Essex defense is coming alive. Good quick pass, and a foul, and a chance of a 3-point play as Nick Mercier has scored 4 straight points for the Hornets, looking to make it 5 straight points. The Hornets lead by a pair.
Third, 13 fouls for the BFA for the quarter. First with line is 1 for 3.
And a 3-point play for Nick Mercier. Jones running the point now. Guarded by Paquette. Paquette looking for his chance to strike. Recognized that he could poke it, and he does. And BFA will pass it by their bench with 25.6 seconds in this third quarter. Essex is on top now, 44-41. Jones looks to Rabtoy. Goes down to Lockerbie. Lockerbie goes up, Rabtoy for three. No good. And Bent soars for the rebound. Paquette has Jones guarding him. Bent comes back to his left. Pivots around. And they work it up top to Provost. 5 seconds. Provost guarded by Brandon. 3 seconds. Paquette might not realize it. Gonna heave it. It's going to be short. And after 3 quarters, Essex leads it 44 to 41.
The BFA cheerleading squad.
19 first quarter points for BFA. 14 second quarter points for BFA. 8 third quarter points. For Essex, it was 13 in the first. It was 17 in the second, 10 in the third. That was easily our sloppiest quarter, certainly for the Bobwhites, with a host of turnovers and unforced errors. But it's the Essex defense that has been the defense. Their intensity has turned up and BFA has not responded. I went through the quarter by quarter scoring output, another way to put that into perspective. BFA scored 19 in the first. They have scored just 22 in the second and third combined. Essex starts with the ball. And it's Botello. High screen from Keegan. And a three-pointer launch. Three-pointer no good, and it lands on the baseline. Brady Moore has hit a pair of three-pointers. In fact, Essex has hit 6 long balls in this game. Sweeney looking for Horrigan. It was knocked out. Coach Menard, incredulous as he looks at his players. He was trying to call a timeout. We go to Horrigan. Horrigan tried to one-hand it. He was fouled on the arm. I think Brady Moore, the culprit. Indeed, the senior captain for the Hornets, number 12. Sweeney goes to Rabtoy. Rabtoy with that tight defense from Noah Peck. Driving in, immediately swarmed by the Hornets' interior defense. Gauthier backs up. Look at that intensity from Botello guarding him. Gauthier kicks out. Rabtoy looking for options. Tries to dribble to the baseline. Immediately double teamed. Again, this Essex defense has picked up the second half intensity. Munger guarded by Keegan. And Keegan a bit too handsy. The third personal foul on Keegan. But the good news for him is that he's no longer hobbling. When he left in the third quarter, he was favoring his right leg. Sweeney amongst the trees, inbounding under the hoop. Floats it up to Munger. Munger with a good touch and gets it to fall. Coming the other way, Brady Botello able to create a lot of space. Three-pointer up, three-pointer in. Mosley, another long ball for the Hornets, who lead by 4. 47 to 43. As Horrigan almost lost the ball, it went over to Munger. Munger has it, but a hand on it as well from Keegan. The jump ball possession to the Bobwhites. Bobwhite's looking over to Coach Menard for a play to be called. They're looking for Horrigan, and it is just telegraphed and absolutely easily stolen away. Rabtoy, though, steals it back. Here's Sweeney. Horrigan for 3. In and out. And a rebound for Botello. Botello the other way. Mosley gonna try another one. No good. And Munger was able to grab it, but on the ground, it's going to be the fourth foul on Sweeney, who was trying to box out and fell back into the Hornets rebounder. Coach Menard accepting the verdict, but unhappy with it. Sweeney understands the situation as well, and Brandon comes to the scorer's table. He'll check into the next whistle. Driving in, Mosley goes back outside to Botello, and it goes right through the fingers of Brady Moore, does the entry pass. Here's Brandon in for Sweeney. Sweeney, frustrated. Whether you're boxing out or not, a lot of times if you knock over the other rebounder, the call is not going to go your way. Here's Brandon. Moore guarding him. High screen from Munger. Munger curls. Rabtoy to Gauthier. Gauthier, baseline, keeps the dribble alive. Able to find Rabtoy for three. It's good! Trip Rabtoy, his third three. And it's now a 1-point game. Essex clinging to a 47-46 lead. Botello, guarded by Brandon. And it's poked free. Here's Horgan. Horgan takes his time, and the Bobwhites are back on top. Horgan, the leading scorer in the game, pokes it free again, and it's back-to-back steals and lay-ins for Gabe Horgan. Horgan's defense and offense have shifted the balance back in favor of the Bobwhites as Coach Willard of the Hornets takes a timeout to get his players refocused in this game. The Hornets were in control. Not quite in the driver's seat, but momentum was in their corner. They had a defensive intensity that BFA had no answer for, and their offense was starting to get some easier baskets as well. But a couple of quick possessions has made the difference. A three-pointer from Trip Rabtoy, back-to-back steals and layups for Gabe Horgan, and that 7-point swing has given BFA a 50-47 lead with 5 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. "17 points in this game for Gabe Horgan. 9 for Trip Rabtoy, 8 for Evan Gauthier. Those are BFA's leaders. For Essex, Sam Bent leading the way with 10 points. And driving in, Thomas Zaplicki. That's just his second basket of the game. And a big one. As Brandon almost loses it. Good defense from Iverson. Horgan inside. Flips it over to Rabtoy for three. No good. Horgan tips to keep it alive. And Brandon will slow it down. High screen from Horgan. He walked into Iverson. And an easy call there on the illegal screen. Essex gets it back. That's the fourth foul on Gabe Horgan. Not a wise one. Zaplicki to Bent. Bent guarded by Lockerbie. Curls around to the left hand. Can't get the bounce that time as Horgan gets the rebound. Guarded by Bent. Sweeney driving in. Gauthier floats, front irons, and the rebound to Zaplicki. Zaplicki thought about a long pass to Mercier, decides to slow it down. He's guarded by Rabtoy. Goes over to Paquette for three. No good, and it bounces off the supports. It'll be BFA ball. Ryan Munger has returned to the game. Brandon finds Gauthier, guarded by Paquette. This has been the point guard matchup, and Paquette almost forces another turnover. Gauthier gets past, gets to Munger. Rabtoy, guarded by Zaplicki. Up top to Brandon. And here's Gauthier, has some space. Three-pointer, it's good! Gauthier with 11. BFA leads at 53-49. Bent. Hit from behind by Munger. And that's 4 personal fouls on Ryan Munger. So Munger, Horgan, and Sweeney for BFA, all with 4 fouls. The inbounds to Bent, behind the three-point line, guarded by Lockerbie. In the key, he goes up to Paquette. Paquette, shot fake. Tough on-ball defense from Gauthier, but they're going to call him for the body foul. Playing a little too tight. That is just the first foul from Evan Gauthier, but the 4th team foul. Next time BFA fouls, Essex will be going to the line. The inbounds to Paquette. And Gauthier, who is standing straight up. There was some contact, but not enough for a foul to be called as Paquette stepped back out of bounds. Deep in the corner, Brandon trying to inbounds, finds Gauthier. Full court man defense is what Essex has been playing this entire game. Gauthier with the behind the back pass to Lockerbie. And there was a whistle. It wasn't a firm whistle at first. None of us quite realized. So the official gave it another affirmation. Okay, the foul is on BFA. The official had told the scorers table what the foul was. Nobody was clear what it was. They had to hit the horn again because they weren't able to hear him. So when the official came back over, he said white 40 or 40 something. There are 2 BFA players in the 40s, but the foul was not on BFA, so they had to. So there was not a clear foul. BFA gets the ball under their basket, and Munger gets the lay-in. Coach Willard unhappy with that one. I don't blame him. I'm not sure what happened on that possession. Officially an Essex team foul, but we're not clear on who it was. And Essex turns the ball over. Coach Willard is asking the official what happened on that previous possession. I'm curious too. The official just put his hand to his chest, perhaps, saying that was my mistake. Be a tough time as a coach to hear that from an official, but you do appreciate the honesty. And at any level, you appreciate anybody who's willing to subjugate themselves to the criticism of a lot of impassioned sports fans. They've called a fair game, even if it's been physical sometimes at both ends. Gauthier with his team up by a half dozen. Rabtoy, the bounce to Sweeney. Sweeney, it's going to be called a back court. They said that when he was chasing it down, he stepped on the line, I suppose. The home fans saw it differently. 2:40 to play. Essex trails 55-49. Mosley. Guarded by Munger. Munger's got 4 fouls, remember. Paquette, guarded by Gauthier. Loses his footing, keeps the dribble. Kicked the ball back up. No double dribble seen by the officials. A timeout first. Paquette got lucky on that one. He had lost his footing and lost the dribble. Finally, he stood back up and started dribbling again. But a timeout was called before there was any turnover. And Essex will have possession after this timeout. A couple of debatable calls in a row have turned the fans firmly against the officials. I'll reiterate what I said a moment ago. I think they're calling a good game. It's been an unfortunate series for them, the last couple of possessions. But anybody who's willingly taking on a position that rarely gets credit, I believe, in a free and fair and judicious society, deserves respect of all fans. Essex ball under their basket. Twice in this game with an inbounds under their basket. Essex has worked it to get an uncontested layup. Both times it's been Nick Mercier. Mercier, by the way, has 7 points in this one. We'll see if he can bring it to 9. They're going to try that same play. He curls around, and it's not wide open this time. Sweeney guarding the ball. If he fouls, he's gone. No foul, and it gets its way back to Paquette. He can't get a shot off, but he kicks it up top. And a three-pointer. Mosley, no good. Loose ball. Munger can't get it. Gauthier does. The forward pass to Rabtoy. Rabtoy is going to be fouled by Zaplicki. On the arm before the shot. 2 minutes to go, and you can feel the intensity and perhaps the desperation from both teams as the seconds become few. Sweeney will be guarded by Peck in the inbounds pass. He goes up top, and Paquette couldn't get a hand on it. Gauthier the other way. Up outside rather to Horgan. Horgan back to Gauthier. Thought about shooting, but recognized that he'd rather burn some clock. Sweeney to Horgan. Horgan going baseline. Guarded by Paquette. Picks up his dribble. Thought about shooting. Instead goes to Gauthier. Minute 40. This possession has been 20 seconds now as an on-ball foul is called on Mosley. It's 5, and BFA will now go to the line. It'll be Sweeney at the line. In his previous trip to the line, he converted 2 shots quite methodically. First one has been the same result as the previous 2. And he misses the second. But Sweeney, despite having limited himself in foul trouble most of the game, has 5 points. BFA now leads it by 7, and Gauthier makes it 9. The steal and the basket. Paquette thought about a three-pointer. Recognized that the defense was too close. Mosley for 3. And that desperation now shown. But Zaplicki with a big offensive rebound and putback. He's got a half dozen. And he keeps it a single-digit game. It's 7 points. BFA leading it with a minute 12 to go. 58-51 is our score. Let's do some scores update. For the Hornets, Sam Bent still leads the way with 10 points. 8 points for Brady Moore. 8 points for Evander Mosley. 6 points for Noah Peck. 6 for Thomas Zaplicki. 5 for Jonah Paquette. And just 1 for William Keegan. Leading all scorers is Gabe Horgan, who has 17. 13 points for Evan Gauthier. 9 points for Trip Rabtoy, 6 for Ryan Munger, 5 for Max Sweeney, 4 Ryan Lockerbie, 4 Davian Jones. All told, it is 58-51. It was the 7-point swing early in the fourth quarter that so far has been the difference, but with a 7-point difference, we know that a quick exchange of as many points can occur. Can Essex make it occur is the question. Max Sweeney will inbound. He'll be guarded by Noah Peck. Finds Gauthier. Gauthier quickly double teamed, and Peck is going to be called for the foul. Gauthier will go to the line. He is 1 of 2 at the line in this game.
That's a second. BFA in the bonus, Gauthier at the line to shoot 2.
5 and 7.
Gauthier. Unfazed by some very enthusiastic Hornets fans who are giggling with one another after that attempt to distract him. A bit less motivation from those meowing fans. 2 free throws for Gauthier makes it a 9-point game, 60-51 with 1:10 to play. Brady Moore back into the game as Zaplicky checks out, perhaps for the last time. Paquette. High screen and rolling in. They cannot get the feed to Mercier. Great idea, but the execution not quite there. Jones, who had come in just to play some defense, checks back out as Zaplicky comes back in, and we'll see him play defense as Moore's going to sit right at the end of the bench to try to get in. Gauthier, the decoy. They went to Rabtoy, to Sweeney. Sweeney quickly fouled. He'll go back to the line.
Foul, that's number 5, Noah Peck. That's his third. BFA in the bonus. Sweeney's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
Sweeney 3 of 4 at the stripe. A switch in the first. And misses the second, follows his shot. He gets it back and goes up top to Rabtoy. Rabtoy to Jones. Jones is fouled, and he'll go to the line. 0 for 1 is Davian Jones.
Throwing Essex number 5, Noah Peck. That's his fourth. Jones with the line to shoot 2.
BFA 9 of 15 at the stripe. Make that 9 of 16. Assuming my mental math is accurate. And 9 of 17 as Jones has missed all 3 of his free throws in this game. Quick pass up ahead to Mercier, and Mercier is able to get a running layup. He's had a quiet 9 points. BFA will take the timeout. Zaplicky went to the bench. He'll be back in when we come out of this timeout. We'd like to thank Northwestern Counseling and Support Services and the Afterglow Foundation The two organizations have been working to prevent suicide deaths in our community, and if you are concerned about yourself or a loved one, there are people in our community that can help. You can reach out to NCSS 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on its confidential emergency services line, 802-524-6554, and then press 1. Or you can always call or text 988. One call, text, or chat could save a life. 61-53, BFA leads. 39.8 seconds to play.
Give it up big for your Bobwhites.
Sweeney inbounding. Finds Horrigan. Horrigan turning through and is fouled. Looks like it was Mosley. Hornets coach Willard thought that both players were fairly guarding him without fouling him. Oregon's got 17, and he's at the line shooting 2. Good touch. He had gone 1 of 2 each of his previous trips to the line. We'll see if he can finally convert both ends. Nope. Munger got the rebound. Rabtoy foul, and Hill shoot 2. Trip Rabtoy has been sitting on 9 points for a while. We'll see if he can get to double digits. And fouling out for Essex is Noah Peck. Finishes the game with a pair of 3-pointers. Really, really intimidating on-ball defense. Rabtoy still sitting on 9 points. He's got one more chance to get to double digits. There it is. He converts the second half, and it's a 63-53 BFA lead. Jonah Paquette guarded by Jones, trying to create some space. Mosley to Mercier. Mercier guarded by Munger. Mosley, a deep 3-pointer, no good. And loose ball. Jones dives for it. Picked up by Moore, and they say he rolled with it. Grady Moore, a turnover, and that will likely be the end for Essex. We'll see if they try to foul here. They may. Still playing full court defense as they go up ahead to Gauthier. Gauthier gets a final lay-in. He's going to finish with 17 as well. Tied for the, just behind Horrigan for the game lead. And our final score is BFA 65, Essex 53. Essex falls to 2-10. BFA moves to 6-7. Tough loss for the Hornets, a game that was within reach and a couple of possessions differently. The outcome would have gone differently. BFA, despite giving up a big lead and at times looking a bit disparaged, they were able to keep their heads up and use some good defense and some good momentum to turn things around. For a final time, we want to mention our community sponsors that make this live sports coverage possible. Splish Splash Clean and Clear, Northwestern Rehab Services, Notch, Vermont, My Healthy Vermont, JC Image, Union Bank, Stone's Auto Repair, St. Albans and East Fairfield, and Collins Burley Sports and Fitness Center. If your business would like to help sponsor our live coverage, you can reach out to Paul Snyder at Northwest Access TV. You can check out their website for more details, northwestaccess.tv. As always, our thanks to all of you for tuning in. Our thanks to videographer Dennis Boucher, production director Alan Cunningham, and I have been and continue to be, always hope to be, Wesley Kempton. From St. Albans, thanks for joining us. Until next time, so long.